I just realized my mic was on mute and I was talking. Welcome, my friends. Welcome, Linda. Welcome, Justine. Um, I'm so happy to have you here. So, as promised on Monday, I'm going to work on this paper pad that I'm trying to smash before the end of April. I don't have too many pieces left in here, so I think I'm on track to smash it in time. Hi, Froggy. How are you, my friend? And so I thought, I'll just pull out one of the sketches that I have from Just Crafts. So this is 12 by 12 paper busting template for A2 cards number 28. That's a mouthful. But I thought, oh, this is easy to do because it's pretty standard, straightforward cuts. There's no die cutting involved with circles or any other shapes. So I'm going to use this. And then I brought in some of the gray card bases I have because I have a ton of the gray ones and I don't use them that often. But because the way these colors are on this paper pad, these are smaller scraps. I'll use those at the end probably when I'm closer to finishing. But see, there's grays in this paper pad, even the rooftops on these houses. There's that plaid. And even this, it's like a glitter, but it's a gray tone on that pattern. So I thought the gray card bases would be good to use. So for matte layers though, I thought I would bring out the greens. So I have like all this 12 by 12 green pattern paper. So I'll just figure out in this pile what works best. But let me tear out the papers that I have left in here. Because it's really not too many left. I have one, two, I think I have like six, maybe seven, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I have 8 left in this paper pad, 8 full sheets. So let me see which ones I use today to make some more cards. And if once I smash this paper pad, that'll be the second 12 by 12 I smash this year. It does take me some time to smash paper pads. That's just, I don't know. I have a lot of paper. So that's the problem, the amount of paper I have. So in looking at the sketch is meant to use just one sheet of pattern paper. And so this would make 4 cards with one sheet. But that's, I think, assuming you have a double-sided pattern paper, and these paper pads from Michaels are just single-sided. Hi, Donna. Welcome, my friend. Hi, Glow. How are you? So what I'm going to do is use 3 different pattern papers so that I'll have different patterns on each of the layers, right? So kind of got to choose. And I really do like these Christmas houses for scenery. So I think I'll use that one. And then maybe, having a hard time deciding. Do I do the snowflake, this pattern of like snow dots? I think that'll work. And then maybe the plaid. That would be a good trio. And then if I have time, here's another trio. So I'll use the acorns there, and then those snowflakes, and yeah, maybe that. And that'll leave me with 2 full sheets left that I can set aside for another day. Okay. So now that I've decided that, I'll need to cut these branding strips off. or these, whatever they're called. It's not really a branding strip. There's no brand on there, but it's that extra strip of paper there. So I need to cut that off. Now, sometimes with the recollections paper, when you cut that off, like right at the perforation, it's slightly under 12 inches. So there's that one. So, friends, how is everyone doing? Oh, hi, Don. Welcome, my friend. How is everyone doing? I still have this cold. I'm feeling a little better today, finally. Like I'm not completely foggy headed like I was. I got a little more sleep last night. I wasn't coughing all night, just about half the night. And, you know, sinus infections are miserable. I mean, I'm used to them. And somebody asked me, I don't remember who it was, why don't I just have surgery to fix my sinuses? The problem with that is when I spoke to a doctor about it, he said, well, we could do the surgery and the odds are about 50-50 you get better or you get worse. And I said, no, thank you. I don't want to get worse. So, see, that one's a little off. So, I just deal with the sinus infections. There's not much more I can do than deal with them, right? Okay. So, let me bring this sketch over here so I can pay attention. So, I'm cutting them in 3-inch strips with the top facing up. So, let's see if I can get 3 pages done at the same time. We'll see. Sometimes my guillotine trimmer works well, sometimes. And it's probably user error. It's not the trimmer. Sometimes not so much. Okay, and then 3. Okay. Then there is a 4.5-inch piece, a 5.5-inch piece, and a 2-inch piece. So let's do the 2-inch piece first. Then 5.5 and 4.5. So if I cut it 5.5 there, yeah. See, I have to talk to myself when I'm cutting because I will inevitably make a wrong cut. Inevitably. Yeah, it's just I've had sinus issues as long as I can remember. Oh, Don, this is from justcrafts.com. I'll add a link when we're done here today. As usual, I was just getting ready at the last minute because I was working on some design team videos all day. So, of course, I lost track of time and then my alarm went off to remind me that I needed to go live. So, I didn't add the link. And I just decided, I mean, I literally 5 minutes before we went live, I decided what sketch I was going to use, or decided that I was going to use a sketch and then which one. Excuse me. And then I had my oldest granddaughter here today. She came over and chit-chatted for a while before she headed off to work. I just love when my grandkids come over. The older ones, it's kind of fun to talk to them because they'll tell me things that I'm sure they don't tell their parents. Positive they don't tell their parents. But I just love having conversations with them. I have so much fun. Okay. So there's that stack. Should I cut the next stack or not? I don't know that I'll get through all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I cut 3 sheets, that's 12 cards. Let me just cut it. And if I don't finish them live with you today, guys, I'll finish them off camera and then just go from there. and make sure I finish this paper pad. Okay, let me check. Safe travels, Linda. Where are you going, Linda? See, I always miss the comments. Hi, Linda. Uh, so, um, we're supposed to go to a birthday party on Saturday, and I don't want to go, you guys. It's my mother-in-law's sister. It's her 89th birthday. So, and she's um she's ill. So her daughter decided, you know what? I'm not going to wait to celebrate her birthday till she's 90. I'm going to do it now. But guys, the 26th is my dad's birthday. And I always have a real hard time on the 26th because it doesn't matter that it's been over 10 years since he passed. I still struggle. So I told my husband, you know, that's my dad's birthday. I I don't think I want to go. Not saying that he couldn't go. He could go, have fun. He just doesn't like to go without me. And I told him I really don't want to go. I want to be home. And you know, I want to go to the cemetery and I just don't want to. So he kind of looked at me funny and he's like, "Okay, you know, we don't have to go." And it's like, "No, you can go. I'm not stopping you from going." He said, "No, if you don't go, I don't go." So then my mother-in-law asked us yesterday if we were going, and he told her that he wasn't sure because it was my dad's birthday. And I watched her reaction, and her reaction was kind of like, "Well, her dad's dead." And it's like, yeah, but you know, she should understand, even if somebody's gone, there's just certain days of the year that um, are more difficult than others. And his birthday is one of those days. Aw, that's fun. Have fun at the dance. So I mean, am I being selfish? I don't know. Sometimes I think I just need to suck it up and just deal with it. You know, being at home isn't gonna bring him back. I know that, but um like I have a hard time on the holidays, on Father's Day, but I usually just go on with it because, you know, there's other people. You know, Father's Day, I celebrate my husband and my son and my sons-in-law, and Christmas, I celebrate everybody. So I'm busy worrying about everybody else. But on my dad's birthday, that's the one day I want to be able to just not have to celebrate anybody else. Although it is the birthday of one of my sons-in-law. I told my daughter, "Really? You picked somebody with the same birthday as grandpa?" She just giggles. But I don't know. Am I being selfish, you guys? Yes, they're acorns. I know. Isn't that weird? In that it's a Christmas paper pack, but they're acorns. Okay, so let me see. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm always second guessing myself. I think being brought up with a good old fashioned Mexican Catholic guilt, you learn to just put yourself on the back burner. And I'm trying to be better about not doing that, about not always being on the back burner. All right, let me see these mat layers now. So the mat layer for the larger piece is 3¼ by 5½. Now, do I want to do a full mat or do I just, I don't know. Do I even do a mat? let's see something. Let me bring in those gray card bases and see if do I really need a matte layer. So let's say, give me a second. Here's these 3. Where's my next stack? I love my glass mat, but oh my God, it's so hard to pick up papers off of here. Okay, that's the second. So these are the 6 papers. So the sketch has it, let me look, going, so let's say this is the back paper. And then come on, I'm out of order here. And then I pick the second paper that goes here, kind of just seeing if I really need those matte layers because I'm being lazy today, guys. And then this one would go there. I mean, it's on a gray card base. I think it looks okay without the matte layers. I mean, it would probably look better with them. But, oh, and let me see. I pulled out a box of these sentiments from Sassy's LLC. This is volume 12, August of 23. So I could put this right there and just leave it as is without any matte layers. What do you guys think? Matte layer? No matte layer. Check out the rest of these. See what we have. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do when my mom is no longer here because, oh, it's just different when you no longer have a parent around. You know, I want to finish these quickly, so I think I'm not going to do matte layers, you guys. I think. Let me do a few without matte layers. See how I like them, and then we'll know. But look, this one, I didn't trim it right. There's a little bit of that green from that branding strip on there. You could hear the little perforated edge being cut. Okay, let me put this away for now, out of my way, before I drop it. All right, so let me start with this one, and then we'll kind of see. I'll try one with each combination and see how I like it. And then if I want to put matte layers on the rest, I will. And I make sure it's the right direction because you know me, putting it the wrong way is my specialty. Send that card base down a little bit. Okay. I'll probably just trim them all. If they're off, I'll trim them at the end so I don't take up all of our live time trimming down cardstock or card bases. Okay, so then this one goes, look, towards this side. And, you know, you can change up the sketch to fit what you want to. So, and I love sketches, you guys. Like I do Kendra's card challenge. I do Alicia's sheet load. Put that there. And then I think I might just put, let me see if I have. Maybe a strip sentiment instead. Joy and magic this season. I have to kind of look at the camera, see what I like better. Yeah, it's rough. I have a hard time on my sister's birthday too. So my sister's birthday, um, September 22nd, and I have one. My husband's a September birthday. Two of my kids are September birthdays, and I'll have to go through my grandkids. One of my grandchildren is a September birthday, so it's a busy month. Hmm. Kind of like this, just running across this little piece here. Mm, I'll do the circle one for now. And then if I need more, I'll pull some of the strip sentiments. Okay. And you know what I have not been doing, you guys? Maybe I'll do that with you guys live sometime next week. I have not been adding sentiments to the inside, and I really need to do that because then I find myself at Thanksgiving stamping sentiments on the inside of all the cards before I donate them. And that's no fun. So I've got to do that. I've got to be better about doing that. Okay, let me bring in my card bases here. All righty. Yeah. It's hard when I don't know, it's just there's certain days that get to you. And the birthdays I think are the ones. And sometimes I'll find myself and it's like, why do you do this, Yvette? If my kids or grandkids do something, that's amazing, I'll find myself almost calling my sister to tell her. Um, but then I realize, oh, I can't call her. I just can't call her. And she knows if they've done something amazing. She probably knows before I do that they're going to do something amazing. But I'm lucky. I still have my brother, and he only lives about a 5-minute drive away. And I have my younger sister, and she's only about a 10-minute drive away. And I have my mom. So I'm super blessed. Like my whole family is close by. Nobody in my immediate family lives more than a 15-minute. Nope, let me take that back. My daughter just moved about a 30-minute drive. But other than that, nobody really lives too far. All right, there's another one done. Oh, good. I think sometimes, excuse me, sometimes I think matting is too hard. Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry. Sending you lots of hugs, my friend. I don't know how my mom has survived the passing of my sister because no parent should have to bury a child. No parent. And, my mom has, maybe it's because she knew she had the rest of us to think about and she had to go on. And um, when my sister passed, my dad was still alive. And I know he struggled with that loss. But um, I don't know. I don't know that I could survive that kind of loss, and I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out. Okay, so this one will go there. So sending hugs to anyone who has had to go through that situation. All right. And my mother-in-law is currently going through that with the passing of my brother-in-law this year. Um, what's the other pattern for that? You know what I should do is just sort them and get them all in the right piles. I don't know why I didn't do that. I usually do that when I'm doing a sketch. I kind of go through everything and sort them into the piles where they need to be. And then and then I start mass assembling. So let me do that right now. Let me just get this one on, and then we'll do our sorting. Our sorting. Okay, let me start my piles. All righty. So let's see. What was I doing? Okay, so acorn. Where's my little piles? Here. So I'm going to start with this group of papers and make my piles. That way I don't have to try and figure out where I'm at. And it's easier for me to sort through everything. Is that everything? Yeah, this is the next group. Okay, so then we need this pile. So acorn can go there, that can go there, that can go there. Maybe I'll do snowflakes on that one. Have to make sure I have the right numbers to make my piles. And then the third piece is easy because it's just the last piece of pattern paper in the trio. Where am I here? Here. Something's wrong. Where did I mess up? Acorn. That's right. Oh, here. That's where I messed up. Okay, then I can just put them in piles on top of each other and grab for those piles as I make my cards. Especially since I'm chit-chatting with you guys, I can lose track quite easily. You're welcome, my friend. Okay, so April's almost done, you guys. Here comes May coming in strong. I have my oldest's birthday is in May, and one of my grandchildren, I have to think. One of my grandchildren is in May, and then on come the graduations. I have a senior, so she's graduating in June, and then I have a 6th grade granddaughter who they have their promotion in June. And is that it? That's it for this year, I think. But I don't know about you guys, where you guys are at. Are you limited to the number of people to invite to graduations? Hi, Danny, welcome. Yeah, this is a really easy layout. Are you limited to people you can invite? Because so after the pandemic, once they opened the schools back up and they actually started having in-person classes and promotions, they started limiting the number of people that the students could invite. So, for example, my granddaughter that graduated, was it last year? Yeah, she was allowed to invite 6 guests to her graduation. Um, the one that's graduating this year, she's allowed to invite 4. And I'm one of the honored guests. So I don't know if it's just a San Diego thing or what. Who did I miss? Hi, Polly. I'm sorry. I missed you, my friend. Hola, chica. How are you, friend? How are you doing? Um, yeah, so it's like, I mean, uh, I don't love going to graduations because they're outside in the sun and I get burned very easily. So like I have to have a hat and an umbrella and like a whole thing. And I have to have seated cushion to take with me because You're out in stadium seating, and it's just a whole thing. But I'm there for my grandkids. If they want me there, I'm there. So the four that are going are my daughter, which is her mother, obviously, and her partner, her boyfriend, or I don't know what you want to call him, and then me and my husband. We are the additional two. And I asked her, I said, "You don't want your sister and your brother to go?" And she's like, "No." I said, "Okay." And I asked her sister, who's they're the ones that are Irish twins. They're only 10 months apart. And I said, "Baby, you don't want to go to your sister's graduation?" And she's like, "No, I don't want to sit out there." I said, "Okay, okay, my friend. I'll add the sentiments last." So, yeah, it's me and my husband that are going, and I think it's on June 4th. Oh, I better double check, make sure my husband takes the day off. And then we'll do a little birthday or graduation dinner afterwards at my daughter's house. So that'll be nice. And the whole family can go to that. There's no limit on that one. Okay, let me see here. So, guys, I have been working like a mad woman because I was sick, really not feeling good at all last week. So I didn't do record videos, according to the schedule I have for myself for my design team projects. So I had to catch up this week. So I'm telling you, I recorded two on Monday, two yesterday, two today, and I was editing one finally. So I have five more in the queue to edit. And then I still have to record some more, but I'll be all caught up hopefully um, by Friday if I stay on task and on schedule. If I don't get called away for grandma duties again, which I get called away frequently. Okay. What am I missing in the chat, my friends? Hey, Jana. Welcome, my friend. It's a moniker. Oh, your dog not being happy. He's in a goat. I mean, I don't know. I give my sister a hard time about her dressing her dog. I'm like, he has fur. He or she has fur. She doesn't need people close. But that dog's her baby, so let her do what she wants. Um, excuse me, guys. I'm going to turn the fan on because I am now overheated. Ah, lucky. Graduation indoors would be wonderful. I wouldn't mind going if we had that, but no, ours are all outdoors in their in the football stadium areas. No, and it's because there's so many kids. It's the classes here are huge. I don't know. I want to say, trying to think about my granddaughter's graduation last year. It must have been like 300 kids, maybe, maybe more. I don't know, but it was a lot of kids. So it's outdoors. See, I almost put it upside down, you guys. Jeez. Always doing that. I am always doing that. The good thing with ATG is I can usually save that. If I add this with liquid glue, there's no saving it. I would have to just, what I do in that case is just trim off the card base and then add it to another card. That's just me though. The coat is only when it's too cold outside. Can't walk without a cup. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Real dogs don't wear clothes. Oh my goodness. Schools are so huge now if you live near a city. Well, San Diego, all the schools are huge here. I think San Diego Unified School District is the largest school district. No, let me take that back. Maybe the second largest in California. LA might be the largest. And then Chula Vista Elementary School District, I think, is the largest elementary school district in California. So we have some pretty big schools. Although I know all the schools are struggling with declining enrollment. That's part of their budget woes because they don't have as many students. And so funding is based on number of students and blah, blah, blah. So there's declining enrollment. And I think part of it is number one, people aren't having as many kids. And number two, people are moving out of California. It's too expensive to live here. So that explains it to me. I mean, it's so expensive to live here. The high school in Alabama had over 3,500. Yeah, there might have been more. So that's the 300 is just the seniors. That was just graduating seniors. So it might have been more. It might have been 4. I don't know. It's been a while. So the schools, the numbers are big, but there is declining enrollment in California. So for example, my granddaughter, the one that graduated last year, I don't know, 3 or 400. I don't remember off the top of my head. This one that's graduating in June, I don't know. I haven't even asked her. But like for example, when I first started as school secretary way back in the day, I worked at what was called the small school because it had the lowest enrollment. And back then, the small school, and it was just elementary, so just K to 6. At our peak, we had 600 students. And right now, the small schools in the same district are running at 300 students. So that's a huge drop. It's a huge drop. I know another district here in San Diego, there's been some talk of closing one of the schools because there's just not the enrollment to justify leaving a school open and having staff for that school. And I don't know. I'm just glad I'm retired from that system. I don't have to deal with that anymore. Not my, what did my friend used to tell me? Not my circus, not my monkeys. She would tell me that every time there was like an issue. She would say, just remember that not your circus, not your monkeys. Like, okay. All right. $707? That is a huge class. I'm gonna have to ask my granddaughter. My memory is not good, so it could have been more, but I don't know. I just don't know. You know what? I can Google that, I bet. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, wow. I was way wrong, you guys. Her graduating class last year had 719 students. I was so off. Oh, wow. That's nothing. 100 is nothing. Did I really put the sentiment on your birthday upside down? I mean, guys, I think we all do it. We all do it. we get to a point in card making, where you're almost done with that card and you just want to get it done so you can send it out or say you're done. And then inevitably we put something on upside down. How are we doing on time, you guys? We're good. Let's see how many cards I can get done today. And I'll definitely have this paper pad smashed. So the last, I think it's 2 full sheets, and then the few scraps I have here, I'll power through probably this weekend and get those done so that I can start in May with a new paper pad. Although I might not power through this weekend. My oldest granddaughter is working at one of the well, she starts next week. She's doing her training this week, but she'll be working with the after school program with elementary students. And so they do different activities with them and such. And she asked if I could make some of those little notebooks like I made my grandkids for Easter, with some pages she wants in there so that she can have them do an all about me activity and they can, write and color in there. So she'll have a group of 20 kids. So I need to make 20 of those this weekend. Because, of course, grandma never says no. Not to my grandbabies. Okay. So we'll see how that goes. And I asked her, do you want them the same size? Do you want them bigger? She goes, whatever you want, Grandma. And I said, okay. So I'll figure that out and make some for the kids she's going to work with. But she's excited. She's excited to start this new job. I love that my grandkids actually like working. Like I'll hear some people say, oh, this generation just doesn't like to work. My grandkids love it. I think they just like having a paycheck so they can spend their money. But she did also come in here today. When she was here, she was talking. She says, okay, Grandma, help me make a budget. I want to make sure I save for a new car and I have savings for emergencies and all the stuff. So we kind of sat and talked about, how much she should save, how much she should have for gas and for, any emergencies that come up or just for everyday incidentals that she needs. So I'm glad she thinks about that. My son did a good job at teaching her to be smart with her money. I wish somebody had taught me that when I was young, because I made that same mistake that a lot of people make of, oh look, they're giving me a credit card, I'm going to spend. Now my husband and I, at all costs, we avoid using credit cards, unless we absolutely, if there's an emergency, like for example, our house in Arizona, we got an email from the property manager last week that the septic tank was full and it needed to be cleaned, and I don't know what, it needed to be repaired, all the stuff. And it was going to be $2,000. And I was like, no. First of all, get me a second estimate. I'm not going to just go on the first company that goes out there. And then my husband called a colleague of his, because the company my husband works for, they have a company here in California and another one in Arizona. So he knows people out there. And they said, nope, that's too much. So she found somebody else and we got the septic taken care of for half as much. But like if we didn't have the cash on hand for that, that would have been something that we needed to use a credit card for. But my grandkids are pretty good about knowing. Credit cards are for emergencies, absolute emergencies only. I mean, they do need to build credit so that they can buy a car and a house and all the stuff, although nobody can afford a house in California. But they still need to build their credit. Okay, where was I? What am I missing? Her roommate's town has a population that, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm going to be busy. I'm definitely going to be busy, but I don't mind. Like, sometimes people will ask me, well, don't you get tired of just being in your craft room and making cards? And it's like, no, I don't. I really don't. It's my relaxation. I don't, when I'm in my craft room, I'm in my own little world and I don't have to think about anything out there. I can just focus on what's in here. And that's my favorite. So I enjoy it. My husband doesn't know I'm going to do it because I know I'm going to hear it. Why do you say yes? Then you're so busy. Yeah, it's okay. And it'll probably be a good distraction on Saturday from my dad's birthday to be just working on those little notebooks. So she's actually doing me a favor by asking me to make those. And then my other granddaughter, the one that's graduating in June, she's so funny. So I helped her with her senior project. I kind of looked it over, proofread it, and made some suggestions on what she could improve upon. And then she practiced her presentation because she had to present it to some of the teachers at school as her senior project. And so, we went over it with her and she did great. She passed with flying colors. And she'll call me, Grandma, I passed. I'm done. I'm done. That was my last project. So I'm like, oh, baby, I'm so proud of you. So my husband asks her, so did Grandma get an A on the project? It's like, I didn't do it for her. I just helped her. Don't give her a hard time. Let me see here. How are we on time? 2:47. We're good. I just have to finish on time today because I do need to go to an appointment. Not that I like going to appointments. I don't like going to the doctors, but I must. Okay. I think I'll get all these hopefully done before we're done here. I might not get all the sentiments on before we're done, but at least I'll have like the bulk of the card making done. And since I didn't put matte layers, see, that was quicker without matte layers. All right. Oh, where am I? Excuse me, guys. I'm going to get a drink of water too. Okay. I'm trying to remind myself to drink more water. I don't drink nearly enough water. And then when they try and do lab work and get blood from my veins, they struggle. So since I have an appointment, I'm making sure to drink a lot of water today. Because I don't want to get poked 100 times. Although you can see all my veins. See, you can see all my veins real easily, real clearly. They always struggle getting a vein. And one of them told me that my veins roll, so when they get it, they'll get blood on the first shot, and then I don't know, the vein moves. I don't know, and then they have to go and try again on another one. So I have to drink a lot of water. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I got a message from my granddaughter. All righty. Just a few more, and these will be done. So it was 4 cards per sheet of paper. So I used 6 sheets, so I should have 24 cards, right? Am I doing my math right? I'm actually pretty good at math, you guys, when I'm feeling well. All right. I really wasn't sure about these acorn papers, but they're looking okay, especially since I used this gray card base. I think they're looking okay. Oh, good. Safe and sound at home. Oh, you're right, huh? That is a good excuse. Sorry, I've been given a task to do and I must complete it, and it will take me all day long. And it's not that I don't get along with my husband's family. I do just fine. I think I just don't want to be around people that day. I just don't. I am what people call an extroverted introvert. So if I have to be around people, I'm good, but man, I'm tired by the end of it. I'd much rather just be home in my nice cozy house all to myself. So Monday, what did let me look at my schedule here. Give me a second, guys. What did I say or put on my schedule for Monday? Monday we'll use the color cube, if that's okay with you guys. And we'll make something fun. Not sure what, but I'll figure it out by Monday. Maybe I won't figure it out. I'll figure it out live with you guys. Who knows? Who knows? And I'm still not done organizing the craft room. It's close to done, but hopefully this weekend my husband will go get me that pegboard and install it for me. And then I can do kind of the last few organizational things, and then I can decorate. Because I also want to it's not just about having everything organized. I want things to be pretty too. All right, so the last one. And then I can add some sentiments. And I've used up some of these great card bases in the process, which is good. Okay. Now let's see these sentiments. See, I have some rectangle ones. If I trim them down, or some square ones, it's Merry Christmas. I'm going to use my glue press, you guys, so I can get them on quickly. Sometimes pulling at that ATG gets to be too much. Some of these sentiments, this one says, he sees you when you're drinking. Ah. All right, happy holidays. That one works. I have to try and remember these are for seniors. And why is that not sticking? Oh, because that paper under there is glitter paper. Let me add more liquid glue and do that. What else do I have? Merry Christmas. See how many sentiments I can get done before we have to go. I think I'm going to put this one over here so I don't have to put it on the glitter paper that's there. What else do I have? Bah humbug. This could have been a glitter bomb. 'Tis the season. That'll work. Okay. Happy holidays will work. Oh, this one is on the glitter. I'm gonna have to press it. I think that worked. These magnets are great for like holding down stuff while the glue's drying. If you don't have something heavy to add on there. What else? I know I have some more. I have a lot of these bins with the pre-printed and the sentiments I cut, but I want to go through this one first before I reach for any more. Okay, let me see. Maybe I'll trim this down. Let me get my smaller trimmer. All right. Let's see. Maybe just right there in the middle. That'll work. Let me find a few and trim just a few down. There's another one. Happy holidays will work. We have some leftover Easter candy here because my husband says every year you say you're going to buy less candy and every year you still buy a whole bunch. And I did buy less. It just maybe because I bought smaller bags for the grandkids this year. I did not. I had some leftover candy. Happy holiday hugs. Let me get my punch for this one. Where is it? How are we doing on time, guys? We got a couple more minutes. Hold on. Let's see. If I cut this into a square, I have to be careful. There we go. All right, let me just start attaching some because I've got 2 minutes before I need to scooch on out. Okay. Happy holiday hugs. And I will put that on there. Happy holidays. Okay, so Monday I will be back at 9:00 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to use the color cube. I think I'm barely on card number 6 or 7. Not sure. I have to go look. So it's going to take me forever to get through all those cards, the rate I'm going. So, thank you for being here, my friend. You too. Thank you, Froggy. Thank you, Justine. All right, guys, I am going to have to finish these off camera. Wah, wah. But let me show you real quick the ones that I did finish. Although, are they really finished if I don't have a sentiment inside? Like I said. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 done. All right, friends, I do have to sign off. We will see you Monday morning, 9 a.m. If you can make it, I'd love it. If not, you can catch the replay. That'd be good too. But I gotta run. I gotta go to that appointment. Thank you for being here, my friends. I do appreciate you all so very much. Bye. Oh, hi, Jamie. Bye, Jamie. Monday. Catch me on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.